Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of CAS TV. It's been a while since we've had this on the channel. This is our 2016 Mk3 Audi TT, and it's about time we got started on it. So what we're doing today? Today we are going to essentially be doing a stage 1 episode. So for us that means induction kit, exhaust, and a remap. We've had this car for I think a couple of months now. It's grown on us quite a lot. I think at times we've been sort of fighting over who gets to take it home, sort of thing. What do we like about this car? So it's the same engine that you get in the Golf GTI and the bigger Audi A3s. So it is quite beefy. It's about 230 brake, and in a car that weighs less than the Golf GTIs and the A3s, it feels like it really flies. It's a great chassis for this engine. It's very solid from standard. Not as in bumpy, as in like when you're going around corners, it doesn't lean too much as it is, but it is a little bit high. The stance isn't very good, and it does lack overall a bit of theatre, a bit of zing. So that's why we're going for the exhaust. Hopefully you get a bit more noise out of the engine and make it sound a bit more meaty. Induction kit, obviously it'll help it breathe a lot better. Hopefully we'll get a bit of sound out of that as well. And then obviously the remap, and that will bring it up to a similar sort of power bracket as the TTS and the S3s. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this one. It's going to be good fun. I think that we should crack on and get started. Okay, so what have we gone for the induction kit? Traditionally, we do go for Venturi quite a lot here. We have that on a few of our cars, but because I'm aiming to do a bit more of a budget and a down-to-earth, realistic build for someone in sort of their first or second proper car, we've gone for something very good value for money, very cost effective. So this is a Pro Ram kit by Ram Air induction kit, designed to sit in the factory location perfectly. Comes with a much better, much larger heat shield to try and keep the air going into the filter, try and keep it a little bit cooler, separate it a little bit more from the engine bay. So it's a pleated filter, so the quality of this is amazing. When we opened it, it's the first thing we noticed is, wow, this is nice. Much larger than the original panel filter, much more efficient because of its cone shape. Comes with all new hoses right down into the engine. Very simple to fit. I think it took us about 20 minutes, half an hour to do, in all honesty. I was very impressed. So why is an induction kit important? The traditional filters in this car, they're just a basic panel filter in a very inefficient box designed just to get air into the engine, basically. This, like I said earlier, it separates the new cone filter from the engine a little bit more, keeps the air a bit cooler. The more cool air you get into the engine, the more efficient it is. A lot of manufacturers for induction kits, they will claim that you get power benefits, though I'm not really gonna say it does, and that's not why we've done it. You will probably notice a little bit better throttle response 9 times out of 10. They do make a difference, especially when you're going to remap the engine. It is important you're getting as much cool air into the engine as possible. Part 2 out of 3 of the stage 1 is the exhaust. Now, we were quite limited for options because this isn't a TTS or a TTRS. Not all the mainstream brands, exhaust manufacturers, make a system. So we were quite happy when we found out Remus did one. We've had Remus on a couple of our cars, like Palm's old M3, for example, but that was so leery. It sounded amazing, but so loud. Anyway, bit more subtle this time. All we've done is change the back box. So we've still got the cats at the front, we've still got the resonator, we've still got the center silencer, literally just the back box. So it's quite a subtle change. It does give it a bit more depth, definitely a little bit more volume, but it's not insane or crazy, and it's not gonna piss your neighbors off, which is important. Now this system from factory, it did have a valve on it, so if you put it in dynamic mode and sport mode, it did open it up a little bit, but it sounded quite artificial. So what this has done, it does keep that artificial element inside the car, but but you can hear the exhaust a lot more from outside the car and even outside traveling in. So there's definitely a lot more sort of genuine, authentic exhaust noise, which is, again, what we thought this car was lacking. The the overall zing element of the car. Tips, again, there was plenty of choices: carbon, titanium, gloss black. We've decided to go for a more chrome finish with an angled sort of tip. I just think it suits the overall look of the car a lot better. It's a bit more universal. I think everyone likes chrome tips. So yeah, quite happy with the Remus exhaust. We have done a couple of test drives in it. That's why it's so filthy, because it is absolutely grim outside. Just to make sure it wasn't blowing and leaking or anything, because obviously we need to do the remap as well. And if the car is leaking air through the exhaust, that's not going to bode well for the remap. I think the last thing to do now is get on with the remap, make sure the car's healthy first, then do the remap and just see how this thing drives overall at the end. Quite excited, really. Okay, so as I was saying, this is a two-man job to do it safely. Here's one I prepared earlier for you.
Lovely.
So how remaps work: we get the car in, do the usual walk around when we're booking cars in, check the fluids, so oil, coolant, just get a rough idea of engine health. Then we go through with the customer what petrol they use, i.e. 95, 97, just so we know what map file to give them, because it is petrol dependent. And then we go out and perform a vehicle health check on the road. Definitely louder, isn't it?
Yeah, that intake sounds good as well.
Right, you ready to start?
Yes. Get down to about 2,000.
Alright, 3, ready?
Alright,
Okay.
start. Lovely.
So that should give us a lot of juicy data. So this is going to take us from 230.
One software.
Oh wow.
Jeez! 314 PS. It's 310 brake. You're basically going to gain roughly 100 brake horsepower.
So just while we're uploading the software to the car, I just thought I'd tell you about this little product that Revo offer in attachment to their maps. So this, I think they call it a serial port selector, SPS. They're about £130, and what you can do is, if you were worried about having your car remapped and then when you take it back to VW, for example, they might try and void your warranty if they're being a little bit arsey like that. What you can do is you can upload different sort of softwares to this port selector. So you plug this into your OBD port. For example, you could have number 1 as your stage 1 normal remap. You could have number 2 as stock settings. So if you plug this in, select your number 2, took it out, gave it off to VW, they're not going to have a clue there's anything on the car. And number 3 and 4, for example, you could have your track remap, or you could have your overrun remap if you've got like your downpipes and your stage 2 all sorted. But yeah, really nice little product that comes with them. Like I say, only about £130, and when you're spending a couple of £100 on a remap, it is a very handy tool to have. Serial port selector. Okay, so software now uploaded to the car, takes about 15-20 minutes. We've got a couple of different modes that come up now. So obviously you've got stock mode, which is if you're giving it back to a dealer and you just want it to be absolutely stock. Performance A, again, this is where it's important you tell us what petrol you run in the car. So performance A, I think is 95 RON to, well, 95 RON only. And then performance B is 97 and 98 RON. Obviously, it changes the parameters of how it runs slightly depending on the octane you're putting in. And then Performance C, I think that's actually an anti-theft mode. Again, a very cool feature that happens with these Revo maps. If you're leaving this on your driveway and you go on holiday, leave it in Performance C, or again, use that port selector, select that performance mode, and the car will essentially become a paperweight. So it's quite handy. What to do now? All that is left is perform another health check on the vehicle. So get out on the road, make sure there's still no cylinder knock-in, everything's breathing properly, everything's running correctly, and just see how quick it is now, to be fair. I think it's going to be good fun. Blade, should we go for another drive?
Let's do it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What is it, 600 brake horsepower now?
That's it.
Stage 1?
Stage 5.
Stage 5, yeah. Nice. All right, let's go. Doesn't feel any different.
310 brake-ish.
I'm expecting big things.
Should be.
All right, you ready to go? We're pretty much clear.
Yep.
Ready?
Yeah, go. That's a big difference.
That was a very naughty speed.
You have to push your head forward. That's pretty quick. That's pretty quick.
I'm gonna go again. Ooh. Damn!
Too quick.
And we're completely out of petrol now.
Yep, I got a full log. I'm happy with that.
So as we were saying, that's from 230 to, it's probably best we get it on a rolling road at some point if we find one. That's to about 310, 330 is what they quote. Again, we're not on 97 or 98 octane petrol, so it's probably more towards the 310, isn't it?
Yeah, most likely.
That's still quick. That feels so much quicker.
I mean, an 80 brake horsepower increase is
quite a lot.
Yeah,
it just shows you how much they tone it down. I guess so it doesn't interfere with the TTS in the lineup.
Yeah, because I mean, well, how much power has the TTS got at this range?
I think it's about 300. It's probably the same now.
Yeah.
It'd be good if we could.
So you pay what? Probably an extra $6-7 grand for a TTS?
Yeah. They do get nice seats.
You get the nice seats, but for the power, you just have to buy a map.
Only Revo.
Only Revo.
A few hundred quid. Save you a few grand. Nice. All right.
Job done. We've just got to check it all when we get back, and then
do the health check. Yeah, make sure it's still healthy, even with the map.
Yep.
And that is it. So I mean, on a normal day, if this was a customer's car, it'd probably take us a couple of hours. We'd be a little bit more relaxed today. But yeah, that's the process really. It's quite straightforward. If you're looking for a remap, just drop it off. We'll health test it for you, because we're very nice people like that. Then we'll give you some gains, make sure it's still all right, and give it back. Very straightforward. Okay, so I think that pretty much brings us to the end of our stage 1 episode for the Tuning Store TT build project thing. I think we're probably going to do maybe 1 or 2 more episodes, so that could be, well, it's going to be wheels and suspension next, I believe. Big thank you to obviously Ram Air for helping us out with the intake, Remus and the Performance Company for supplying the Remus exhaust, and obviously Revo, only Revo, for helping us with the map, training us up how to use them a few months ago. Done quite a few cars since then. But yeah, it's good to sort of get it on your demo cars and sort of show you around the process in and out of it. So thank you very much to everyone. Thank you very much to you guys for watching. I think until next time, that is all from me. So subscribe to the channel if you want to keep up to date with what we're doing with this car. Like the video, please, just so we know that you're watching it and you enjoy it, or don't like it if you don't enjoy it, it's up to you. And drop a comment, let us know what you think, what would you have done differently, and what do you want to see next. So thank you very much guys, we'll see you next time.